The arrogant aliens should have known not to fuck with humanity's warships, even ancient ones. Within hours they'd be regretting that mistake with their lives. Jesse Allen sat in the cockpit of the salvage vessel Phoenix, drumming his fingers on the console. Another boring shift hunting for scrap in the arse end of the solar system. Suddenly, the comm crackled to life. It was Odin, his Arcturian crew member. "Captain, you need to see this," Odin said, his voice trembling with excitement. "We found something big floating in the Kuiper belt. An ancient warship, nothing like I've ever seen. The design doesn't match any known species." Jesse leaned forward, his heart racing. If this was true, it could be the score of a lifetime. The secrets in that warship could net them millions, maybe billions. They had to get there before anyone else did. "Lock in those coordinates and set up a rendezvous," Jesse ordered. "I want us docked with that ship yesterday." The Phoenix's engines roared as they shot toward the derelict vessel's location. Jesse gathered his salvage team, checking their suits and gear. They had to be ready for anything. As the ancient warship loomed into view, Jesse couldn't help but gape at its massive, imposing silhouette. Jagged and battle-scarred, it looked like a slumbering beast. Jesse had a feeling in his gut that this wasn't just another payday. This ship held secrets that could change everything for humanity. But they weren't the only ones interested. As the Phoenix approached, several Arcturian ships uncloaked nearby, weapons charged and aimed at the human vessel. "Attention humans," a deep alien voice boomed over the comms. "This is Arcturian space. Your presence here is a violation of galactic law. Prepare to be boarded and your ship seized." Jesse gritted his teeth. Like hell he was going to hand over the biggest find of his life to these alien bastards. He turned to his salvage team with a determined glare. "Suit up and get ready to board," he growled. "We're not letting them take what's ours. This could be humanity's only shot at leveling the playing field out here." As Odin and the Arcturians watched nervously from the Phoenix, Jesse and his team jetted toward the ancient warship, weapons ready. They had to find a way inside and secure the ship's secrets before the aliens tore the Phoenix apart. The ancient human vessel was their only hope. If the Arcturians got their hands on it first, humanity was royally screwed. This ship could hold the key to the stars, to humanity reclaiming its rightful place in the galaxy. They couldn't fail. The future of their species depended on it. Jesse and his salvage team floated through the gaping hole they'd cut into the ancient warship's hull. As they shined their lights into the dark interior, their jaws dropped. Sleek corridors and advanced technology greeted them, the likes of which they'd never seen before. This ship was light years beyond anything the Earth Federation had. "Holy shit," Jesse whispered into his helmet mic. "Are you guys seeing this? These consoles, these displays, this is incredible." They made their way to the bridge, and Jesse interfaced his suit with the ship's systems. A holographic display flickered to life, and the ship's log began to play. "USSC Titan, flagship of the United Sol Space Command. Lost in action, 2107 AD during the Second Colony War." Jesse felt a chill run down his spine. 2107? That's impossible. This ship is over 700 years old. He pored over the log entries, his eyes widening with each revelation. The Titan had been equipped with an experimental dark matter drive, a technology that had been nothing more than a rumor, lost to time, until now. Jesse opened a comm channel to his team. "All right, boys, this is it. The score of a lifetime. I want this ship stripped down to the bolts. Every piece of tech, every scrap of data, I want it all. We're going to be rich beyond our wildest dreams." As the salvage team got to work, Odin sat in the Phoenix's cockpit, a sinister smile on his blue lips. He opened a secure channel to the Arcturian High Command. "Exalted ones, the humans have discovered a derelict vessel of their own kind. An ancient warship with technology far surpassing their current capabilities." The High Commander's voice crackled over the comm. "This could be the opportunity we've been waiting for. With the secrets of that ship, we could finally crush Earth and seize control of their system." Odin chuckled. The fools have no idea what they've stumbled upon. They think only of the wealth they can gain, blind to the true power in their hands. "You have done well, Odin," the High Commander said. "Now eliminate the humans and secure the vessel. We will be sending reinforcements to your location. Soon, Earth will be ours, and humanity will kneel before the might of Arcturia." Odin closed the channel and armed the Phoenix's weapons, aiming them directly at the ancient warship. The humans had no idea what was coming. They were about to learn the true meaning of galactic warfare and the price of crossing the Arcturian Empire. Jesse's heart pounded as he heard the cries of his crew, cut down by a hail of plasma fire. He sprinted for the bridge, slamming his fist on the lockdown button. The heavy blast doors sealed shut with a hiss, barely in time. "Oh, traitorous son of a bitch," Jesse shouted into his comm, his voice shaking with rage and grief. "I'll kill you for this, Odin." The Arcturians' mocking laughter filled the channel. "Oh, Jesse, you poor naive fool. Did you really think we'd let you humans claim this prize? The Titan's secrets belong to the Arcturian Empire now." Jesse's hands clenched into fists, his knuckles white. "I'll die before I let you take this ship." "That can be easily arranged," Odin purred. "Surrender now, and I promise you a quick death. It's more than your crew got." Jesse cut the comm, his breath coming in ragged gasps. He had to focus, had to think. His old marine training kicked in, pushing past the grief and fury. He turned to the Titan's darkened consoles, his fingers flying over the controls. "Come on, you ancient piece of junk, don't fail me now." Slowly, painfully, systems began to flicker to life. Jesse felt a surge of hope as the bridge lit up, holographic displays shimmering in the air. A recorded message began to play, the image of a haggard, bloodied man in an officer's uniform. "This is Captain Mikhail Petrov of the USSC Titan. If you're seeing this, then I failed." Jesse leaned in, his heart in his throat as the captain continued. "Our dark matter drive was sabotaged, sending us jumping through time and space. We never made it to the battle." Petrov's voice dropped to a whisper. "There's a weapon on this ship, something that could end the colony war in a single stroke. But if it falls into the wrong hands—" The message cut off, dissolving into static. Jesse slammed his fist against the console. The Arcturians couldn't get their hands on this weapon, whatever it was. He had to stop them, for his crew, for the Earth. Odin's voice crackled over the comm again, dripping with menace. "Last chance, Jesse. Open the door and I'll make it quick. Don't, and we'll cut our way in, and I'll make sure you live long enough to see Earth burn." Jesse's lips curled into a snarl as he began to power up the Titan's weapons. The Arcturians wanted a fight. They were about to get one. Jesse cursed as the heavy thud of boots echoed through the Titan's corridors. Odin and his commandos were closing in fast. He slammed his hand on the console, frantically inputting commands to the dark matter drive. It was a long shot, but it was their only chance. 5 bridge doors exploded inward, shards of metal scything through the air. Jesse dove for cover as plasma bolts sizzled past his head. He popped up, squeezing off a few shots with his sidearm, dropping one of the Arcturians. "You can't win, Jesse," Odin shouted, advancing with his rifle leveled. "Surrender now and I'll make your death quick." Jesse gritted his teeth, his finger hovering over the drive's activation key. "Go to hell," he spat, slamming his hand down. The drive hummed to life, a swirling vortex of dark energy forming at the Titan's core. The ship shuddered, the deck plates rattling beneath their feet. Jesse held on tight, praying to whatever gods might be listening. But something was wrong. The vortex flickered, unstable energies lashing out. Sparks flew from the consoles, systems shorting out across the ship. Jesse's heart sank as he realized the truth. The sabotage from centuries ago was still in place. There was no time to abort. The vortex exploded outward, engulfing the Titan in a blinding flash of light. Jesse felt his stomach lurch as the ship was ripped from normal space, hurtling through an impossible void. And then, just as suddenly, it was over. The Titan emerged into real space, the stars outside the viewports unfamiliar. Jesse checked the navigation systems, his blood running cold. They were in uncharted space, light years from Earth or any known colony. Worse, the jump had drained the Titan's power core. The ship was adrift, its systems failing one by one. They were sitting ducks. Odin picked himself up off the deck, his face twisted with rage. "You fool!" he snarled. "You've doomed us both!" He turned to his commandos, barking orders. "Storm the bridge! Take Alan alive! I want him to suffer for this!" Jesse knew he had only moments. He turned and sprinted for the armory, praying the ship's designers had planned for a day like this. The armory doors hissed open, revealing racks of weapons, Gauss rifles, plasma cannons, even a few ancient kinetic firearms. But Jesse's eyes were drawn to a large, ominous device in the center of the room. He approached it cautiously, reading the inscription on its housing, USSC Titan Fusion Cannon Prototype 01. Jesse's breath caught in his throat. Could this be the weapon Petrov spoke of in his message, the one that could have turned the tide of the colony war? He heard the clatter of Arcturian boots approaching, the commandos closing in. Jesse made his choice. He grabbed the fusion cannon, feeling its weight in his hands. If this was to be his last stand, he would make it one the Arcturians would never forget. The secrets of the Titan would not fall into enemy hands, even if he had to burn the ship to ashes himself to prevent it. Jesse grabbed armfuls of power cables, yanking them from the walls of the armory. Sparks flew as he ripped wires free, frantically connecting them to the fusion cannon's power input. The weapon hummed to life, its barrel glowing an angry red. Odin's commandos were almost through the armory doors now, their plasma torches carving through the reinforced metal like butter. Jesse hefted the cannon, its weight nearly toppling him. He braced himself against a weapons rack, aiming the barrel at the door. With a thunderous crash, the doors gave way. Odin stormed in, his eyes widening as he saw Jesse with the cannon. "Put that down, you fool!" he shouted. "You have no idea what it—" Jesse pulled the trigger. A lance of blinding plasma erupted from the cannon, engulfing Odin and his soldiers. Their screams were swallowed by the roar of the weapon as their bodies disintegrated into ash. The recoil slammed Jesse back against the wall, the cannon falling from his grip. Around him the Titan shuddered, the hull shrieking as the weapon's discharge tore through bulkheads and decks. Air began to howl from the breaches, the ship's atmosphere venting into the void. Alarms blared as Jesse staggered to the armory's emergency console. His hands shook as he typed in the command to seal the room. Thick blast shields slammed down over the doors and viewports, barely holding against the rush of escaping air. In the sudden silence, Jesse slumped against the console. The armory was in shambles, the racks of weapons scattered and half-melted. The fusion cannon lay on its side, its housing cracked and leaking coolant. The ship groaned around him, the sound of twisting metal echoing through the halls. Jesse knew the Titan was doomed, its structure fatally compromised by the cannon's blast. It was only a matter of time before the reactors went critical. He dragged himself to the comm station, his fingers flying over the keys. He boosted the signal with the last dregs of the ship's power, praying it would be enough. "Mayday, Mayday," he rasped into the mic. "This is the USSC Titan, requesting immediate assistance. We've suffered catastrophic damage and are in danger of reactor breach. To any ships in range, please respond." Static hissed from the speakers. Jesse repeated the message, his voice growing hoarser with each iteration, but no answer came. The armory's heat sinks failed one by one, the chill of space seeping in through the hull. Jesse's breath fogged before his face as he huddled over the comms, shivering in his suit. The irony of his situation washed over him, and a bitter laugh escaped his throat. He had been so close to the score of a lifetime, to securing humanity's future among the stars, and now here he was, dying alone on an ancient wreck, his only company the frozen corpses of his crew. With numb fingers, Jesse activated his suit's recorder. If he was to be lost to the void, at least he could leave a record of what had happened here, a warning for others who might stumble across the Titan's grave. "My name is Jesse Allen," he began, his voice trembling with cold and exhaustion. I the captain of the salvage vessel Phoenix. If you're hearing this, then I didn't make it, but there's something you need to know. He spilled out the whole story, from their discovery of the Titan to Odin's betrayal and the Arcturians' treachery. He described the fusion cannon, the terrible power it held. This weapon, it could change everything. It could be our salvation or our damnation. You have to find it, have to keep it safe. Don't let the Arcturians get their hands on it. Don't let my sacrifice be for nothing. A deep boom echoed through the ship, and the deck shuddered beneath Jesse's feet. The reactors were going, the Titan tearing itself apart. He closed his eyes, picturing Earth, picturing the rolling hills of his childhood home. If this was to be his end, at least his final thoughts would be of something beautiful. The world turned white, then red, then black. The Titan vanished in a blinding flare of light, a new sun briefly igniting in the darkness of uncharted space. Then it was gone, and the void swallowed all trace of the ship and the secrets it held. Far away, an Arcturian listening post picked up a faint signal, a ghost of a transmission from the derelict warship. But by the time their ships arrived to investigate, there was nothing left but an expanding cloud of debris, glittering in the starlight. If you finished this story, please subscribe and like the video. Then leave a comment that says, "I liked the story," and I will heart every single one of them. It really helps me. Thank you for your time.